Throughout this tutorial, we'll be going over how to update the firmware of your TAURI TTS10, TTS15, or TTS21 device. Begin by going to auroramultimedia.com and clicking the Customer Portal in the upper right-hand corner. In the dashboard on the left side, there's a Firmware section. Click that for the newest firmware updates to be displayed. Here we have TAURI's firmware version 1.412 and the bug fixes, in addition to the downloads for each size unit. If you'd prefer to read our instructions, you may click for a written manual. There are two methods to update TAURI's firmware, FTP and USB. Let's begin by going over the USB firmware update process. Locate the zip file that you've downloaded from the customer portal and copy it to the USB drive by dragging it across the screen. Once the file is finished transferring, safely eject your USB drive. Then, insert your USB drive into TAURI's USB slot. If you do not see the USB slot, you may have to remove a plastic cover surrounding the ports. After you've ensured that the USB drive is securely connected, swipe across TAURI's screen from the left edge of the screen to the right. You'll be prompted to enter a password, which by default is admin, A-D-M-I-N. Tap the screen to select the kiosk settings. Tap the Upgrade Firmware button and select Browse. Tap and hold the firmware update file to select it. Then tap Open in the upper right-hand corner. You'll notice the firmware update warnings on screen. Please do not power off your device while the firmware is being updated. Now click Upgrade in the bottom right-hand corner. The device will reboot and bring you to the default screen. Click the settings icon in the bottom right-hand corner and enter the default password of 12345. In order to access all of your device's new features, go to the Miscellaneous tab or MISC tab and select Factory Reset under the System Functions. This process will take a few minutes and you'll be prompted to calibrate your device after you've reset. Now, let's look at how to do an FTP firmware update. In order to update TAURI by FTP, you'll need to know TAURI's IP address. This information is located under the Ethernet tab. Now that you know your TAURI's IP address, you can use an FTP client like FileZilla to transfer the files over to TAURI. Enter TAURI's IP address under Host. Then, for username, enter admin. For password, enter admin. Now you may connect your device. Once TAURI is connected, transfer the zip file from your computer to the firmware folder of your TAURI device. After a successful file transfer, you may begin to operate TAURI remotely. In order to do so, type in your TAURI's IP address /setup into a web browser. You'll be redirected to the login page for TAURI. Please enter your username and password, which by default is admin and admin. Now click the Diagnostics tool. From here, you'll see the Firmware Update option. Now you may click Update Firmware. Be sure not to power off the device while the system is updating. After TAURI reboots, you'll need to click the settings icon in the bottom right hand of the screen. Then, enter your PIN, which by default is 12345. You'll need to click the MISC tab and go to the Factory Reset option in the System Functions. Don't forget this last step, as it ensures you have access to all of the firmware's latest features. Thanks for watching this tutorial. For more information, go to auroramultimedia.com.